Fans are throwing some pretty big ideas for the Bloodline 2.0, so we'll see what that's about. We'll also check out some theories for Liv Morgan, Uncle Howdy, and more. Starting things off with a little Uncle Howdy theory that's floating around online. When Bray Wyatt returned in 2022, one of the potential feuds fans were discussing and hoping to see was Bray Wyatt versus Roman Reigns and the Bloodline. Reason being that there was a lot of story to tell left there. Roman's historic Universal title reign all started in controversial fashion when he signed the match contract extremely late, while the match was already underway between Braun Strowman and Bray Wyatt. Roman would step in there at the last minute, do minimal work, and then eventually pin Braun Strowman to take the title off of Bray Wyatt. WWE immediately hinted at a Bray Wyatt versus Roman Reigns feud, happening right after that all went down, but they eventually changed their minds and never went back to that feud. But the fans just thought that there was always some story left to tell there, because Roman legit stole the title from Bray Wyatt, and Bray never got a rematch of any kind against Roman. This is all relevant in current day because some fans are wondering and theorizing about the idea of Uncle Howdy bringing in his family to target the Bloodline and their family. What if Uncle Howdy and his family were targeting the Bloodline for all their dirty things that they did to Bray Wyatt from back in 2020? That would be a reasonable motive for Howdy to just immediately take out all his frustration out on a family that did Bray so wrong over the last few years. Not only would it be revenge and payback for Bray Wyatt, but it'll also be a family versus family dynamic that could get extremely interesting to watch unfold. Two different sides, two different families that both want to prove that they run things in WWE, and they could potentially be looking to make an example out of each other. Solo Sikoa only gained control of his family after WrestleMania, and he's been trying to reestablish the Bloodline as the top family in the company. But for nearly the same amount of time that Solo has been in control of the family, Uncle Howdy has been teasing and talking about all these things he's going to do with his new family in WWE. So what better way for Uncle Howdy to establish his new family as the top dogs in WWE than by taking out the family that has ran things for almost 4 years? Feuding with the Bloodline and having a big family war there, while also paying off the Bray Wyatt history with Roman Reigns. That would be a feud that lives up to all the hype that's been created by the Uncle Howdy teasers. Like we've been saying, the teasers make it sound like Howdy is targeting something very big and very important. So something like this idea would live up to those high expectations, while something like him coming from some bottom of the card tag team or other faction would be a bit deflating and less thrilling. But Howdy and Solo Sikoa fighting for the rights to establish their families as the top of WWE does seem like some interesting high stakes to have without any title being involved. Fans have also discovered smaller details that they think could be hinted towards a Wyatt 6 versus Bloodline feud, but some of the things they're bringing up are a bit of a reach. First thing that fans pointed out was Solo Sikoa's outfit from a few weeks ago that consisted of a black button-down shirt and a red suit jacket. Some fans pointed out how Bray Wyatt once wore the same thing in one of the most popular pictures with his wife, JoJo, which is a bit of a reach, but it's entertainable. Fans also pointed out that the gloves Solo Sikoa has been wearing in recent weeks appear to be very similar to the Fiend's gloves, but obviously without the hurt and heal text on top of them. And the last bit of a reach was the recent Smackdown QR code of Uncle Howdy's letter of gratitude that just so happened to pop up while Solo Sikoa's face was solely on the screen. So there's some backstory there with the Bray Wyatt events that went down between him and Roman back in 2020, and a lot of little details that make it seem like a Howdy family versus Bloodline 2.0 feud could be in play. Thankfully, Uncle Howdy and his family arrival is taking place on June 17th, so it's not that long now to see where this could all be heading for them. Speaking of some interesting theories, let's get into some more theories regarding Liv Morgan and her Judgment Day storyline. Right now at this point in the story, it appears that Liv Morgan is fully coming after Dominic Mysterio and trying to seduce him, but as we see week after week now, it appears that something is actually brewing up between Liv Morgan and Finn Balor. That's where the real story appears to be happening here. What's going on between Liv and Finn? Well, fans are coming up with some great theories for when we could potentially see things between Liv and Finn really come to light. If things continue not to go well for Liv trying to get Dominic to be with her, what if she does end up fully turning her attention to Finn Balor? We've already been seeing all the clues and hints that something's going on between Liv and Finn, so it's not out of the realm of possibility at all. It actually seems very likely that we'll eventually see some more reveals between them. And fans are starting to wonder if that big Liv and Finn reveal could come around Money in the Bank. For weeks, we've been discussing the idea about if Liv approached Finn with a proposal or an offer for helping her. We also spoke about how Liv's proposal to Finn could have been something along the lines of promising to help get him back to the top of WWE as World Heavyweight Champion. So, if that's what Liv promised Finn Balor, then Money in the Bank presents Liv with a unique opportunity to keep her promise to him. What if Liv Morgan goes out of her way to ensure that Finn Balor wins the Money in the Bank contract? That could be the big moment of Finn Balor and Liv Morgan going public about their partnership and putting everyone else on full notice in a big way, because Finn will now have the contract in his possession. And we just recently saw what his fellow Judgment Day members did with that same contract at WrestleMania 40. So it could be a big sign that the world title dreams could be in grasp once again for Finn Balor, and it'll all be thanks to Liv Morgan of all people. And if Damian Priest is still world champion by the time Finn Balor wins the contract, then obviously that's going to create some tension and conflict there. Most likely similar to what we saw in 2023, where Damian Priest and Finn started getting into it a bit because Damian was lurking around Finn's world title opportunities. So it seems like that dynamic would have an opportunity to come back into play in a big way, since the world champion and the Money in the Bank holder would be standing side by side in a faction. That is a pretty bizarre situation to think about. Could that be Liv Morgan's big plan all along? Help Finn Balor win the contract, help him cash in to become world champion, and now Finn and herself are a power couple with both world titles? Things like that could really pick up there real soon if that's the case. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.